104.1 KRBE.
Okay, parental discretion is always advised when we do revenge.
Reach out to us at krbe.com and tell us what's going on. Eric will get back with you and he'll set the whole thing up where you tell us here on our show what the situation is, and then we conference you in with the person that has messed with your life. Because you already got your payback. You're just here to tell us about it. So let's welcome Lisa to the show and find out what it's all about. Hi, Lisa. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Lisa. So what brings you to Roula and Ryan's Revenge this morning?
My neighbor, Dean, is the worst.
Oh, no. Not another neighbor thing. Okay, first give us some background. How long have you guys been living next to each other, or is he right next to you? And is it a house? Is it a patio home, an apartment?
Well, I'll say this. It feels like we've been living directly next door to each other, which we do, but it feels like it's been forever. And it has only been a year. I've been here for years.
You've been here for years, and he moved in a year ago?
I had great neighbors the entire time I lived here until they decided to downsize and rent it out to the devil himself. I cannot stand this man.
What is he doing that's so bad, Lisa?
His driveway looks like a used car lot. This man has so many vehicles in his driveway, and he drives like this obnoxious moving van. And instead of having to maneuver his way out of his own driveway, he will just drive directly through my front lawn.
Wait a second. He's driving a moving van through your front yard to get out of his own driveway.
Yes. And not just once or twice. It is to the point where my yard is completely dug up. It looks like I have a moat starting, which I wish I did so I could keep him off my freaking property.
How does he think that you're not going to complain about this?
I've confronted him so many times, and he literally laughs in my face. He's like, "Oh, it's just grass. It'll grow back. It's not a big deal."
You're like, "It's a big deal. I'm trying to win Garden of the Month."
When we get him on, if he sounds like that, I am going to pee my pants.
Well, we do have him on hold.
I know, but when we get him on,
Hey guys, it's just grass.
It's going to grow back. Okay, so obviously he's being reckless with your property and doesn't care, laughs in your face.
He's loud all the time. He's obnoxious all the time. He's got a circus worth of people living in the house. My yard's torn up. And at a certain point, I just have to walk away because he is a child, and you cannot reason with a child having a tantrum.
No, absolutely not. I mean, don't you have, do you have an HOA that can maybe get involved, too, to kind of go after him on that, or no?
I wish, but at this point, I think I have a better plan. I don't even think I need an HOA to intervene. I think I've got it covered.
Okay, let's find out what you did. Hang on, let me get Dean on the line, and then we'll see how he sounds. Hi, Dean. Welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello. How are you guys?
Hey, Dean, we're fine.
Hello.
So do you have any idea why you're on with us?
I don't, and I was trying to get out of the producer or whoever I was talking to what it was, and they wouldn't tell me. So I would really like to know.
Ahmad you can't get anything out of Ahmad.
Tight-lipped.
Tight-lipped. He will not break.
Let me fill you in, Dean. A lot of people listen to the Roula and Ryan Show, and they reach out to us when they're having stuff going on in their lives that they want to bring to the forefront. It is your neighbor, Lisa, that is conferenced in on this call right now, and she can hear everything we're saying. Lisa, say hi to Dean.
Good morning.
Why are we here, Lisa?
You have torn my yard to shreds. I have literally begged you to stop driving on my front lawn with your obnoxious van.
Dean, are you guilty of that?
I have pulled into her yard by a little bit. My van is only 6 feet wide. Right? I'm not driving over through the middle of her yard. That's insanity.
Yeah, but you kind of admitted that you have driven her yard. She says that
my tires have gone over a little bit, and we've torn up a little bit of grass. Grass is not a big deal. Grass comes back.
Yeah, but she asked you not to do it.
That
You
was
can't
ruts, though.
drive in there.
You get those divots, those ruts.
He's taken up sprinkler heads. He is underselling this entire situation.
Dean, you don't think that there's a financial fault there on your side if you're driving through her yard and tearing it up and causing damage? You don't think that you should offer to have a yard service come fix that, or a landscaper or somebody do something?
Well, when she brought up that I could knock over a sprinkler head, I looked it up, and it's less than $100. I would pay that if I had done that. I didn't do that.
Okay, well, we're getting nowhere with you, Dean.
So, Lisa, what don't we know? What does Dean need to know that we also don't know?
I've tried to reason with you. There's no reasoning with you. You are unreasonable. So, you know that nice little how's my driving sticker on the back of your van? I have gotten everyone I know. I have asked them to go ahead and just report your driving. Tell your company how they feel about your driving.
Dean, have you gotten complaints?
Well, I have gotten some complaints. I got pulled into our foreman's office and told that I was on the border of losing my job I think that you would call your friends and try to have them get me fired to lose my income to take care of my family. You're going to call and get me fired over some grass?
Here's the sob story. Why don't you sell off one of the 18 cars in your freaking driveway? You could just open a car lot. Or maybe become a landscaper since you know so much about sprinklers now. You've done your research.
But I'm kind of on Dean's side now.
You've driven her to
If
this.
you think that that my family shouldn't be able to live because of some grass, and you're going to say I'm the bad person here?
Yeah, but Dean, stop driving in her yard.
It's a few inches into that yard around the side of my driveway.
Even if it's a whole yard to try and get a man fired from his livelihood.
So now you feel bad?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Lisa, did you have an army of Karens call in all at the same time, or was this spaced out?
No, this has been a little drip campaign of mine. And, I have given him so many chances.
What she's doing is harassment. What she's doing is a crime.
Well, I don't know if that's a crime.
No,
I wouldn't
not
call that
really.
a crime.
Because
That's not
you've
a
got
crime.
something on the back of your truck that says, "How's my driving?"
Yeah,
She's not
anybody can call
liking
that.
your driving because you're driving in her yard.
Exactly. So technically, she is 100% telling the truth. How's your driving? Terrible.
It is fraud. She's a manipulative liar that tries to ruin people's lives because she can't have a regular conversation like a regular adult.
But she can,
I don't really know
she
the
can show
bullying
them.
here,
She has
100%.
photos of what you've done.
You're driving on her grass.
Yeah, and Eric,
that's
you
what
shared the
drove her to
pictures.
this.
No,
That
the
does
pictures
not
is-
look like a couple inches. That looks like
You drive through her
many
yard. There are
feet.
tire tracks in her yard.
You're pretty much lying,
Right,
Dean.
and my yard is a mud pit, and I own my home. You rent next door.
So that's what it is. That's what it is. Now you're trying to get a radio station involved. This is going to backfire on you so bad, and I will sue you for defamation.
Oh, here we go. So now you've got nothing but time and money.
Dean just hung up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, now I don't feel as bad now.
Everybody always threatens, "I'm going to sue you."
How about just be a good human being and don't be a jerk?
You said your old neighbors that rent the place to him. Why don't you just call them and say, "Hey, look, your tenant is terrible."
He's not technically violating a lease or anything. They would have to evict him, which is a whole other
Yeah,
expensive
squatters.
legal process.
We can't get squatters out of houses nowadays. How are you going to get people to pay?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, let us know what happens, Lisa. It sounds like this is a to be continued situation, and keep yourself safe. We don't want
You poked the bear.
Dean doing anything
His
else.
voice didn't sound like you said.
I mean, it was a little bit like that.
Well, she
I
made a
hear
more
tinge of that little
more
accent.
jovial.
Lisa, thanks for calling our show, and let us know where this goes. Check in with us sometime, okay?
Yeah, I'll keep you updated on the lawsuit.
Hey. Thanks for listening to our show. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, you too.
All right,
Take
take
care.
care. How many people have threatened to sue and actually gone through with it?
Well, once you see how much it costs, you're not going to do it.
And then it takes, I'm going to sue you. And then 2 years later, by the time it gets to court.
It's not instant. It's like 2 years, a year, and depending on what it is. So that's why it's like, nah.
Or the small claims courts.
I don't know if that's
Do we
real.
have one of
I
those
always thought
here?
that
I
was
mean,
a
we
TV
have small
show.
claims.
I remember that
courts.
TV show was here.
Right.
Yeah,
The
which
guy with the
judge was
cowboy
that?
hat. Larry Brown or no?
Judge Joe Brown?
Joe.
I don't know.
He had a
We had a
cowboy
lot
hat.
of judge shows
There
here.
are so
a
many
lot.
court dramas. I don't know.
They filmed a bunch here for a
We
while.
did. We had a lot of Houston-based
20 years ago.
judge shows.
But
and I
really,
can't
that's
keep 'em straight.
arbitration.
Yeah,
I
because
know.
when they
It's just
both
for
go in,
show.
for the TV shows, when they both go in there, they've dismissed it through the court system, and the TV show, the
They've let
producers,
that
they
guy
pay
decide.
Both
them.
sides.
The
Yeah.
divorce court. I used to watch that.
Oh, yeah, divorce court.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, they're going to do it in 30 minutes. They're going to be able to do that all.
solve their entire marital.
I think that show is
problems.
still on, Eric.
Is it still out?
The version of divorce court. I
Judge Judy
think
has
is
her own
still
show
on.
now. I think on Amazon Prime or Max.
Yeah.
Max maybe.
It's a different
It's
title.
a different name because she doesn't own Judge Judy.
Oh, that's right.
I think it's called Judy
They wanted-
Justice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think it
That's
is.
crazy. Judy, Judge.
Remember, she was the
Judy.
highest paid TV personality for
yeah.
many years.
We
She has
saw.
made
Don't you
hundreds
remember
of
when we
millions of dollars.
went as a show to the Bahamas? We went by an island, and he said, "That's Judge Judy's mansion over there."
I
Well,
can't
she's
remember.
got lots of money.
Yeah.
Go to krbe.com if somebody messed with you and you got them back and they don't know about it yet. krbe.com to do revenge. That happens on Tuesdays. Now, coming up next, we need some group therapy for this mom. Her question is, how far is too far when it comes to defending your child? She is divorced. She finds that what her ex-husband and his wife are doing on their time with her daughter is mentally hurting her, and her daughter is struggling so much. But how far is too far in the court's eyes for her to actually be able to take action? She's
'Cause she
really
can't
at a
afford-
crossroads.
She doesn't want her
Can't
name.
afford a lawyer.
She can't afford a lawyer. She was telling me through text. I've never talked to her on the phone, just through emails. That's a long email. That's how long that is.
You
But
actually.
it's pretty condensed. I mean, I
You
know it came
condensed
out like
it.
a giant block, but it's
But I mean,
pretty
I'm
condensed.
saying there's a lot
once
of
you read it.
information there,
Yes.
so we know a lot
Yes.
about her. I feel awful because, like you said, Ryan, go to court.
It costs money.
That's a messy thing, too. You start doing that.
Yeah.
It might not go your way.
They might take the kid away from both of you because then he's going to say stuff about you.
Yeah, you don't want Child Protective Services getting involved.
Oh.
So we're going to read you what she wrote to us, and maybe somebody can help us, give her some advice.
Maybe there's a
down the right
lawyer out
lane.
there listening that would be willing to help.
Or someone that's been through this.
Yeah,
I'm sure
sure.
that she's not the only one.
Stay tuned for that next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
KRBE.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Time for Roula and Ryan's group therapy.
And you got to go to krbe.com to reach out to us. You can go to our Facebook page. You can direct message us. There are many ways to reach out to the Roula and Ryan Show.
DM, this is where I got the DM on Instagram. I gave her my personal email and said, send it to me.
And it's a very
Everything that-
detailed email.
And then she just does want her name, obviously. 'Cause
Yeah.
Doesn't want to embarrass her kid.
No. And see, that's the most frustrating part. Like, being a parent is difficult enough. When you're divorced and you cannot control what the other partner is doing, ex-partner is doing, it's the most frustrating thing, especially if you
feel
believe that they're harming your child, like psychologically.
Okay.
Physically.
And 833-390-KRBE is our phone number, 833-390-KRBE. Now, just from us telling you what we're about to tell you, somebody already texted us about makejusticehappen.org. It is a website I just went to. It's Houston Volunteer Lawyers. I never even knew about this. It's a service of the Houston Bar Association. We'll learn more about that in a second, but let's get to... Should I ask her about that? So she doesn't
Let's
hold
get
on.
to the group therapy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. I'm not going to say her name. And I have to give this to y'all in a nutshell because it is a pretty big email. But she is divorced from her ex. Their daughter was 3 when they divorced. The daughter is now 13. And her question is, I don't understand how it's never far enough in the legal system. Meaning, when you see bad behavior happening from the parent to the child and you report it, it's never far enough. Like, whatever's happening is never far enough for them to take action. And then she's like, well, I don't want to get far enough where the child's actually hurt, and then we can't go backwards.
You want to try and stop it before.
She's trying to stop it before it takes its toll, but it has taken its toll over these 10 years. Some examples she has given in her email is before the exes had somebody else in their lives, right? When they were just divorced, they would text each other, they would talk in person, they would talk on the phone. Once her ex got engaged, everything changed. They were no longer allowed to communicate in any other way except for emails. Long emails. She was told not to be at the child's school by the then fiance, who's now the wife, because I'm a distraction in front of the parents or the children or the teacher, because for whatever their disagreements are, I'm assuming, or whatever it is. They once took her to a birthday party when she was around 5 or 6 years old, and she was too shy to wish the birthday child a happy birthday. She was yelled at all the way home, according to what she told me, and said, if you don't stop crying like a baby, then we're going to treat you like one. And according to what her daughter told her, because she wasn't in the house to witness it,
Right.
they put a diaper on the child and pointed and laughed.
Oh, my God.
That is what her child told her. Now, imagine that as the parent whose hands are tied, because you know that's not right. But as the other parent, like, well, I'm just trying to teach her a lesson, right? So she has all these examples through the years of ways that she believes her ex and his wife are mentally abusing her child. At some point, she started getting so much anxiety just at the thought of spending the night at her dad's house. Not even for the weekend, just the one night.
Oh, no.
That she started reacting where she would not eat. She would get massive migraines. She started becoming underweight and under height. Like she was not taking care of herself because that's just how her body was reacting. She was having severe anxiety attacks. She'd feel sick to her stomach. Then her father would start weighing her weekly and taking photos of her on the scale.
Oh, my God.
She was already having body image issues. Then they took her to the pediatrician and told them that she had an eating disorder. No, that the mom had an eating disorder as a young adult. So then a specialist had to come in. All these appointments were happening to make sure she's not going down that road, the genetic road of the eating disorder. I don't know if that's true or not. The mom didn't tell us.
Roula, I'm reading study after study that doing that causes so much psychological damage to the child.
Right.
And not only that, it almost guarantees that they will have weight problems the rest of their life.
So she says at 12 years old, finally, her hand was forced to file a lawsuit to get more custody. But a 12-year-old does not have many rights. Mental abuse is not enough because it could be viewed as just parenting. And there's no proof that you can show someone. In Texas, she said that she had a 50-50 chance the judge would say to my daughter that she's fine and it's not bad enough. so we stay in standard custody. For the most part, we got what we wanted. What has me now emailing you and asking this question, how far is too far? My daughter came to me last week with a migraine. She was hungry, and she told me she had to run the back perimeter of their house. It's a 1-acre lot, her father's home property. In the afternoon, I checked the weather index, which was above 100 at the time my daughter was running. At least one of the 4 times she was ordered to run. At one point, she was asked during the run if she was tired, and when she said yes, the response she got from the father and the stepmom was, "Well, you don't look it, so just go run again." I've been told that she's not being physically hit, so reporting it may not be the answer. I could get her an attorney that I can't afford. I can write an email, will generally results in further punishment that could be worse or the same and further, like they would punish the child for the back and forth of the mom trying to help her. She said, as I'm expected to show indifference or give devil's advocate opinions and advice. I take her to the pediatrician. I tell them the story. I'm not supposed to encourage her to tell them, and I have to take her to the counselor, but I'm not supposed to tell her to do it. I love her so much, and I don't know how to help and protect her. So that's what she was asking. When is enough is enough? There is a story that she knows documented where a boy passed away in the custody of the parent under questionable parenting, and she doesn't want her child to be that next child. That's one of these scenarios.
And then the husband could be like, well, when she's with me, yeah, we might do that stuff, but when she's laughing and we're having a good old time, like, it's hard to... There's 2 sides to every story.
Can she...
So, I mean, we're hearing her side.
So in Texas, a
But with
child...
anxiety and stuff, all that, I mean, there's got to be something's happening.
That's what
she
I'm
said, I've spoken
about.
to my lawyer, and the things I have said in the end are my situation. I know I'm not the only one going through this. We don't have enough money or time to fight this. When will the mental abuse and the minor child abuse situation make the courts, the judges, and the doctors less afraid of being sued and more worried for our kids before it's too late?
How about some lawyers? Is there a way for her to get a free counseling? See a therapist?
You even have to go
she
before
says
a
in
judge.
this email
Wait
about
a
the
second.
counseling.
She have the money.
You have to even go before. You have to have permission to actually. Both parents have to agree that the child needs to have
So
counseling.
maybe he would agree to that.
So-
If he doesn't, then you have to go to court.
Years
for that.
ago, they repealed the law where a 12-year-old could decide in the state of Texas which parent they want to live with. They repealed that law. Now,
So many kids want help, but then the other parent doesn't believe in medicine or
Well,
something.
again,
like
here's
that.
the problem, Eric. If you like to your point about the example of what if you can go to counseling. Okay, so if the parent doesn't agree with that, the other parent doesn't agree with that, then the child who needs the counseling is left in limbo, not
Yeah.
getting counseled
Both
while
parents
they
have to
fight
sign
out
off on
in
that.
legal court over whether she should get counseled or not.
To me, I feel like if you
It's
don't
so
want them to be
crazy.
counseled or have a therapist, then
You're hiding something.
You're hiding something you're afraid that they're going to tell on you.
Yeah.
All right, I want to know about MakeJusticeHappen.org. Elizabeth, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, good
Do
morning.
you work with this organization?
I just applied for them. So they go by your income. You have to fill out this survey, and they will call you and kind of get what your issue is, and then they'll schedule you an appointment for an attorney to call you.
Okay.
So I have an appointment next week, but I don't send my daughter with her father anymore. And the same situation happened with my son. Once he turned 13, he can decide if he wants to go or not. And she has a lot of proof of why she doesn't want her to go.
So
they're
13
not
is the
gonna-
number? 13 is the age where they can decide?
At 12 years old, my son didn't want to go. He didn't go.
Okay.
And if they would call the cops would show up. The cops would just say, this is illegal, nothing we can do. I mean, it's a legal matter. You have to go to court. But he never took me to court. My son's now 16. He barely sees his dad. So, I mean, I've never sent my son if he doesn't want to go. And the same with my daughter. Right now, she doesn't go with her father. And I have a interview next week with the attorney for my daughter's father.
Okay, so then that did help you out. Then MakeJusticeHappen.org is a Houston volunteer lawyer website with different practice areas for family law, for housing, like divorce, custody, visitation support, all this stuff. So
if
it
her
really
kid's 13,
covers a lot.
Her kid could say no,
Yes.
but
No.
if he's got money, he can go to court and
And
say,
say,
no,
make
you
me do
are.
it. Okay,
So the other guy didn't have money and just gave up. Didn't want to be around his kids either.
Yeah, that's the problem. MakeJusticeHappen.org. Let's go to Whitney on the line at 833-390-KRBE, going through a similar situation. Hi, Whitney. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good
Hey
morning.
there. So what's your advice for this mom who's wondering how far is too far until it just gets so bad for her daughter? She can't return from it.
Very similar to the last caller's advice. My daughter has developed an eating disorder as well from the things that my ex and his new wife have put her through also. and we are currently going through a lawsuit, so I'm not sure how much I can say. But don't send the child.
Yeah.
Get her a therapist. It depends on what's in the divorce decree, whether or not the other parent has to agree, but my ex didn't agree to her going to therapy either because he didn't want to get tattled on, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
it's
That's why they do it.
really ridiculous. An adult feels that way about their own child. You should be able to help your child as much as you can.
Right. So wait, Whitney, what if, because you said just don't send her, what if they show up for her and she's like, no, she's not coming out of the house? Then the cops get called and then
Don't
what
open
happens?
the door.
Just don't open the door.
The cops
and the
get called and they
What?
do exactly that. They say it's a civil matter, and
they won't do anything.
that's all there is to it. He would have to bring a case against her for withholding the child.
But then
they
if he
could
does
go to
that,
court.
then it costs her money that she doesn't have to defend herself, right?
Not necessarily. She doesn't have to get a lawyer.
But if he has a lawyer and takes you to court, he could then try and sue.
If the
and
child
take
stands
full
up
custody
before a
or
judge
something.
and says, I don't want to go, Your Honor, to be with my dad because he's doing this to me.
Exactly.
But then
Yes,
what do
but
they
if the
say?
child says that, it doesn't matter, and the guy throws the lawsuit on her anyway because he's got money. That doesn't help.
Or-
her.
That's why I said you need to go to a therapist and have it documented,
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
therapist can testify on their behalf.
Okay.
Well, she's
I got it.
13. That helps. Like when you're 8,
Mm-hmm.
they always say that. Oh, the mom just told the kid what to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I mean, there's things you can, I guess,
Yeah.
tell a kid, but some of those things, it's like, no.
Okay, so to the
Kid is
mom
not
that's
gonna just
listening
listen.
to us, let me tell you that standing by on the lines that we don't have time for all of them, the majority of people are saying 100% you do not have to send her anymore. When it is his time to get her and you have her, do not send her.
So she needs to have a
And
conversation with her daughter.
Like multiple people are saying that because
Yeah.
she's 13.
Right.
And you let him know why.
And the daughter says, and I don't want to. So if he calls the cops and the daughter says, I don't want to go with him, to what Whitney just said, they're like, it's a civil
Is it a good
matter.
idea? Maybe someone listening, like, is for her to email that since they only email. She does not want to go to your house. This is why, because you made her run. Like, give examples. That way
Yeah.
you have a
You have
paper
truth.
trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe he says something like, I only made her run because of this. Or maybe he could.
Has she had the conversation
speak
with
in emails
Has she
only.
had the conversation with her daughter asking, do you not want to go to your dad's? Has she had that conversation?
I don't think she said that in here.
Because, I mean, that's the conversation she needs to have with her child.
Obviously,
Say,
I'm
hey,
going to assume right now
if you don't
happened
wanna
because
go,
she's having
then we're not.
such anxiety when she knows the day is coming. She goes to her dad. She said that when the summer comes, when the school year ends, her daughter has severe anxiety because she knows now she has to spend a long amount of time with her dad.
Yeah, sometimes a month, sometimes weeks.
And so she said, kids should be happy school is out and summer is here. But her daughter totally falls apart
That breaks
because
my
she
heart.
knows she has to spend time with her dad and his wife. That should tell you enough right there.
Sounds like this wife, stepmom's where the problem began.
Right,
So
because
they
they
had-
used
it
to
was-
talk to each other until he got with
Yep.
her. Once they were engaged, everything changed. Okay, thank you for reaching out to us, to the mom. I really, really, really want to know what happens here. Can you please give us an update and tell us what you found out, what happened, if the information we gave you
I
helps
just
you?
emailed her as we spoke. And
Yeah.
told her we were doing this to listen if you're not listening right now.
she
Yeah.
can go to the podcast.
And I gave her that website you said.
And the Houston volunteer lawyers are makejusticehappen.org. They cover many different practice areas: guardianship, estate planning, federal taxes, housing, family law, all of it. It's really organized here on their website. Looks really good. So thank you for reaching out. And God bless you guys. My gosh.
Should help everybody.
Coming up next, we have a chance for you to score a staycation 2 nights at the Omni Houston Galleria. We'll tell you how to win it next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
On KRVE.
It is brought to you by Taqueria Arandas, and we have a really fantastic chance for you to enjoy 2 nights at the Omni Houston Galleria, and you qualify to win a cabana by the pool.
Oh, that pool's awesome,
That
too.
Omni Hotel is so pretty. The rooms are so fantastic, and it's a great way for you to get away, relax, unwind, do what you need to do to turn off the crazy and just be with the calm. Shout out to you, Georgia. She has been there forever, and I first met her when I got married. Oh my God, almost 16 years ago. I can't believe I married almost 16 years, 15 years. So the Omni is big. We're big fans of the Omni, and we have a chance for you to stay there. So call her 12 at 833-390-KRBE. It's our gift to you.
Is it going to be your 15 in October?
At 2009,
Yeah, they're 17.
2024.
That's 15.
That's 15.
It's going to be 15. Ooh,
Yeah,
you
because
got
I
to do something
met
big
him
for that.
16 years ago, so it's our 15th anniversary.
What do you get for that? Like aluminum? What's the...
Now,
I
25
forget
is
what it
silver.
is. Hold on.
10 is what?
What is
I don't
the
know what 10
15?
is. The 15 ounce, look it up. Is it tin foil?
That's what I keep thinking.
We're going to smoke some
I
ribs.
remember when I was
wrap
an
'em in
intern,
aluminum.
you guys did that thing at the road show. What was it, like renewing your vows?
Oh, yeah.
or
That was the
something?
10th.
Yeah.
That was the 10th.
Crystal
I remember
is
that.
15.
Crystal.
Oh, get him a
Get a
Or you
crystal
could do like
clock.
fine jewelry, but they're saying crystal.
get him
Wow.
a crystal
Watch,
decanter.
timepiece.
Crystal duck for the desk.
No, that'd be bad.
It's like a crystal
Where's your
duck.
crystal frog?
It's right here.
Oh, it's right there.
There we
Yeah.
go.
It's a little
Wrap
fakey.
it up.
There is his gift.
Where did you get that
You were
from
allowed.
again?
Frog.
We found this in the kitchen. Like somebody's random
random.
desk got emptied.
It was so
and they put all this
random.
random stuff in the kitchen table. I go, oh, look at this little fake little crystal frog.
Yeah.
That's God now.
I have a little crystal frog here. Okay. So I'm going to play some audio from Tyrese. Tyrese Gibson first, I think, hit the scene as a model. In the days of the supermodels of Naomi Campbell and Cindy Crawford, there was a male model contingent. And Tyrese was one of those hot guys.
He was big around 97.
And then he's in the Fast and Furious movies.
That's how I know from number
Yeah.
2 to
Yeah.
whatever we are.
Yeah,
Are we
and he
on
was in
12 now?
Baby Boy. They played on BET every hour on the hour.
Oh, right. So he talks about being raised by his mother with his 3 other siblings and how times are tough because she was, working and not making ends meet. And then she had this idea to do this to get some government money. And it's pretty stunning. Here's how the conversation went.
My mama made us go to a Social Security building and play. You get that check? $780.
Can't say the
Straight
word.
up. Government cheese.
You been acting.
That was my first acting gig.
Your mom was your first director. She gave you your first movie gig. Your mom, first director.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all what it was though. The crazy shit. I ain't never shared this publicly in my life. Oh man, they can't. Hey, you can't arrest my mom. She gone. Out of here, government. I said, Mama, well, this now I'm like 8 years old. She said, this is what we gonna do. She said, we got to go into this county building, and if y'all end up doing this, we gonna get $760 a month, and your mama could use it. I'm here. We in the hood. I'm working and trying to keep up. It's for y'all. You got your 2 sisters, your brother, and so if y'all do this, then this is how much money your mama gonna get.
Is it a piece or was it just for all y'all? Was it $700 a piece?
It was $762 a piece.
Ooh, wow.
$760 per child if they went in and act like as if they were mentally challenged.
And it must have worked
Oh,
because
wow.
he said, you can't go out to my mom anymore.
Yes, because she passed away.
Imagine putting that on your kid.
Yeah.
4 kids
That's
times
crazy.
7.
That's how he learned how to act, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
And they
desperate
said
times
they got
call for desperate
government
measures.
cheese. Have y'all ever had government cheese?
No, but we learned from Phoenix, Ahmad, because Phoenix had government cheese, how it wasn't good.
It's hard to melt, but when you get accustomed to it, you can make a good mac and cheese.
and
with it.
how much
Is it
cheese
more like
is it? Because
Velveeta type?
Phoenix, it was like a giant wheel.
It's like, well, we got like a block. Like, think of a Velveeta block that's
Okay.
really thick.
Okay.
Just really thick, and it's hard to melt. You put that thing in the microwave for 2 minutes, and it's still a little tough.
And where does it, how do you pick it up? Is there a place to pick it up?
I never know. It was just
And
in
why
the
was there always
fridge.
government cheese?
Yeah, government cheese. Isn't that so odd? Like, what's the
Cheese,
origin of
like-
the U.S. government
It goes back-
saying,
it
when a
goes
home
back
can't
to-
afford groceries,
Other
let's
than
give them
eggs.
cheese?
It
I want
goes back
eggs.
to World
Like,
War
yeah.
II. It goes back to World War
steak.
II, and it goes to welfare beneficiaries, food stamp recipients, elderly people receiving Social Security.
Why, though?
But
Why
why
cheese?
cheese? Why not like
Yeah, why
chicken
cheese?
or
I'm
eggs?
telling you, eggs would be
or-
great.
I don't know.
Bread.
Milk.
Yeah,
Right.
That was
Why
so
government
random.
cheese?
I feel like I got accustomed to that back when I was in Louisiana.
So do you have does it bring back a memory that's positive for you? Like if you try that or 'cause
I
you had good
didn't
memories?
hate it. I didn't hate it. It was just cheese, my people can make a good ass mac and cheese.
Oh, here's
with
All right,
it.
hold on, I have the answer. I have the answer.
Because the government cheese was created to maintain the price of dairy. When the dairy industry subsidies artificially increased their supply of milk, they had this extra milk. So that created a surplus of milk, and then they would turn it into cheese
And then give it to
and butter.
And they say all states do this. Any state that asked for the
Oh,
cheese
yeah.
would get 30 million pounds
Whoa.
in 5-pound blocks. The logic behind the distribution was to remove waste effectively and to use all possible resources available in the U.S. So every state does this. Every state gives government cheese.
I can't believe I just admitted I ate government cheese on the air.
Well, you're the second one on the Rule and Ryan
Phoenix
show
did
that
it.
we've learned
Gotta
about
do it.
government
Yeah,
cheese.
Got that
government
cheddar.
cheese.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Roula and Ryan Show on KRVE with what's going down in H-Town.
All classes are canceled on Rice University today. There was a murder-suicide. Junior was shot to death in her dorm in Jones College at 4:30 p.m. The man was not a Rice student. Students are urged to seek support from friends, faculty, and staff in the counseling center. Rice leaders said they discovered no signs of forced entry at the dorm. Officers found the bodies as well as a note detailing some of the troubles in an apparent dating relationship between the two. So no classes.
Does it say who the note was written by?
Well, apparently
too soon.
they were in a
won't tell us.
relationship is what they're assuming.
And they just got back like this weekend.
Yeah, it was actually the
juniors.
first day of the fall semester.
Yeah, 'cause Monday was first day, so they move in like Saturday or Sunday.
And about 70% of Rice undergrads live on campus.
And
So
unfortunately,
no classes today.
Domestic violence escalates into death. And obviously that's what happened here. So please, if anybody is struggling with this, go to the Houston Area Women's Center for Help. They help everybody. HAWC.org, HAWC.org. Coming up next, it is Try It Tuesday. And I don't know, is it really a punishment if we have to eat Doritos? I feel like it's not. But
There's three
Doritos
things
have
we
gone
have.
off the rails with
Depends
some of
what
their
you put
flavors.
on 'em.
What flavor is this one?
It's like sizzling
the cheeseburger?
cheeseburger.
Sizzling cheeseburger.
Yeah, right.
So sizzling. They
Sizzling.
definitely put some smoke powder on there.
And then
Probably.
Kevin's got a Danish drink.
It's called Power Malt. Okay, I don't even know what the heck it is.
Malt, so
it
it's
is a
alcohol.
malted beverage with no booze in it.
No booze?
But I believe it's
Energy.
supposed to be an energy drink from the Danes.
Okay, watch. We're going to just take one sip of this thing. There's going to be like 10 5-hour energies in that
Yeah.
one sip. We're going to be bouncing off these walls.
Here's the other thing. If you know what this is and what I'm about to drink, because I found it at HEB, 37530. Why do you have, what is
Yeah,
this?
do you-
What's Odison?
Do you regularly purchase, what's it called again?
Power Malt.
Power Malt.
And ramen, we also have ramen noodles, but it's a special kind of ramen noodles.
Oh, no bugs?
Menudo.
Menudo.
Oh, gosh.
No bugs.
Menudo.
Kevin's going on off
Oh, yeah, the bugs.
You don't have time. for
TikTok. He
Is
sees this
that
video.
fake news? Because it's totally freaked me out.
I
I will
saw
not
it.
eat ramen
We
because
saw
of it.
it.
If it's on the internet, is it true?
It is.
Menudo ramen noodles. Hopefully it's bug free. Next on the
Be
Roula and
stinky in
Ryan
here.
Show.